Let's go ahead and bring in Steiner Sports CEO, Brandon Steiner.
One of the country's top memorabilia mogul.
I have an unbelievable guest, Brandon Steiner.
Brandon's second to none.
We're live. Welcome at Project X. And today I have a tall idea. I just love entrepreneurs. And first of all, thank you all for your emails, for your ideas. I'm going to try to get as many of you on the show as we can as we progress over the next few months. Really excited to talk about all of your ideas. Some of them are amazing. But today I've got, well, you know I'm a big sock guy. I love socks. You know, Dan and Mike here from TallOrder, and they've created these new socks. What's going on, guys?
How you doing, man?
Brandon.
Everything good?
Everything's great. Happy to be here.
Explain to me, I mean, you know, now, like I always say, you know, socks are like the new tie. You know what I mean? You wear a tie. I'm wearing a tie today. I'm getting an award tonight. I wore a tie. I figured it would be the right thing to do. But my socks were an issue this morning. Like, I felt like, you know, I mean, usually you're worried about your suit, your shirt. Certainly the tie is a big deal. But now that the socks are a big deal, first of all, like, why socks?
Well, they've been an issue for us every morning as well. So you
guys are kind of tall. They can't see that.
Yeah, they can't tell because we're sitting
down. You guys
down.
are big guys.
Yeah. I'm 6'9", and my twin brother Mike is 6'11". So we've always been, you know, some of the tallest people around, and we've had problems finding fun, fashionable clothing that fits guys with big feet like us. And so, you know, after years of going to big and tall stores and not finding what we want, we decided we were going to make them ourselves. So that's why we went into the sock business, and we know that that's the new way people are personalizing themselves. They're comfortable. They don't slide down your foot. They stay on your calf. And I can't wait to talk about the story behind everything. And
well, I always say, whenever I have a conversation, what's your story?
Yeah, so like I said, because we're so tall, growing up, we were always called the Twin Towers.
Popular in the basketball age.
Yeah, popular in the
very
basketball
popular.
community. Yeah. But that nickname kind of took on a weird irony because, unfortunately, my brother and I lost our father, Andrew Friedman, in the World Trade Center on September 11th. And the response from our community was really incredible. You know, people really went out of their way to show us love and generosity and help us out in some of our toughest times. We always thought it was a, quote, tall order to pay them back for everything they did. And so in that spirit, we started TallOrder.com, not just to produce these fun and fashionable dress socks for guys with big feet, but also to give back to those that have helped us in the past. So we're donating 10% of the profits to this amazing charity, Tuesday's Children. They do a lot of work with communities that have suffered through terrorist attacks, that have suffered through traumatic loss, through military involvement, just like they did for us after September 11th.
So somehow this idea, if I'm reading it wrong, spiraled around your dad, losing your dad. Yeah. This is how this all came about?
Yes.
Yeah, our dad was our rock for our family. You know, losing him was the toughest thing that we've ever been through. I know we couldn't have gotten through it without the help of our community and without the help of great organizations like Tuesday's Children. So that's why we're so happy to be giving back to them.
Now, who's designing these socks? Are you on the designer end, or?
No, I'm actually helping out right now with the day-to-day operations, as Dan is right now at the University of Virginia getting his MBA in entrepreneurship. Right now, I'm helping out with the day-to-day operations, some marketing, promotions.
But all the designs, though, are in-house. You know, we sat with our...
Who designed these socks?
Yeah,
oh, in-house. I mean, what house?
Yeah,
who
so
designed these socks?
Our house. You know,
Did Mom design these?
No,
because I know in my house, my mother would be designing these socks.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not gonna...
we have a freelance designer on staff that's actually handling the
They're
creative.
pretty cool. I mean, this is my
software.
favorite. Is there a number one seller out of all these? This is like my favorite, but
my personal favorite are the Martys, because then that's the ones with the triangles here. I just think they have the most color, the most pop.
Yeah, I can see that.
We have them in two different colors, in the orange.
Is this
and
the number one
burgundy.
seller so far, and you're early out of the gate?
So early out of the gate, what would you say is the most popular one?
I would say, that would be the most
Martys.
popular one. But they all have been. Everyone's been buying all the socks because they all love the story and the inspiration behind creating these beautiful socks.
Now you got a story, you got a product. Good for you. Where's the bump? Anything that's put you on the side of the road? What have been the trials and tribulations with this product? Like where are you at? And
well, going through the initial sort of testing of the product, you know, we went through different amounts of fabrics, different amounts of lengths to make sure that they wouldn't fall down people's feet. Because when guys have big feet, their toenails tend to rip through them. They tend to fall down the calves. So we really went through, you know, probably about a 9-month process of trying different fabrics and different colors and different pigments that wouldn't fade when we wash them, and also that the fabrics wouldn't shrink when you wash them, because we know how important it is for guys with big feet to have stuff that fits.
Is the challenge now the promoting and distribution of it?
Yes.
And also the ordering ahead of time? I mean, how many do you order? And
Yes.
where's the main focal point to buy these, first of all?
Right now, they can buy them on our website, TallOrder.com.
Can't get them on Amazon?
We're going to be getting them on Amazon this week.
We're going to be, or...
Yes.
This week, we're working on it. We've already signed the agreement. We're putting them
So
on
we
Amazon
soon will
this
see
week.
these on Amazon.
Yes,
Yes.
you will.
Cool. Anybody else? Is there a department store? Is there a men's shop? Or...
So we're working with a few specialty retailers, some big and tall stores, some custom clothing stores, because we know that's where guys with big feet tend to shop. They're not generally going into the traditional department
Are
stores.
you in the big man, tall man shop?
Oh,
yet?
of course,
Absolutely.
of course.
You are.
Our whole lives.
Yeah.
But are the socks there? Not
They're
yet.
getting there. They're getting there.
Who works on sales?
We all do.
We are. It's a family business. This is what we do.
It is a family business. It's my brother, it's my mom, and it's some very close friends as well helping us
So
out.
you're really trying to figure out the distribution for this, and you're fully invested. You have the money you need to support this.
So far, so good on the investment side.
What's been the biggest challenge up to this point?
Right now, the biggest challenge is building awareness, because we're focusing on such a niche market. It's getting our name out there. We've only been open for a month now, and sales have been good, but we want to spread the word. We want to spread the word of our story and our product, and that's been the biggest challenge so far.
Are there going to be more? I was going to say more flavors. Jeez, are there going to be more colors and more styles?
Yes.
Or are you going to do anything like
Yeah.
limited editions or
Going forward,
Yeah.
we realize we've gotten a bunch of people have said to us that we should not only try to go for the bigger market, but we should go for people with size 7, size 8, and also get women involved with our product. That's why going forward we want to include them and make sure that they are a part of this just as much as the big and tall men.
And then with the designs as well, we've already started planning some stuff for the holidays. We've already started planning stuff for the spring. So we do have a lot of great ideas that are churning out right now.
Getting women involved with the product is critical. I mean, getting involved with women with everything is critical.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's any question. Obviously, because when you think about it, like women they're the ones who buy socks for their men half the time, right?
Exactly.
Well,
I mean, for no other reason, that's just an obvious one.
Yeah.
But obviously, the distribution or getting this into the right stores, not just any stores. This could be a Neiman Marcus product, or if anybody out there, any buyers out there, or Lord and Taylor, this would be great. One of those kind of distribution patterns will be pretty cool. Have one brick and mortar that you can call home would probably be a good go-to for you guys. Do you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely we're evaluating a few different retailers right now in terms of getting our products on actual physical store shelves.
Now you've been in business 2 months or a month and a half?
We've
or?
been open for business for a month. We've been working on this for a little over a year now, and
We're new.
How are sales?
sales have been good so far. We've
All on the web.
all on the web.
Are you
so
guys
far.
like packing boxes? You're
Yeah.
shipping?
We're
you're...
doing that. Me and my mom are doing that at home, and every day when we get orders, we're packing them. We ship them off, and yeah, it's been just.
So you've been
me and her.
working the whole web, keyword searches and
Yeah, we
all
have
that?
our web designers and our digital marketing team as well, handling sort of the search engine optimization piece and handling sort of the infrastructure behind
So
the
you're
website.
just putting a little, or just this one product line. You need web, you need design, you need.
There's a
There's a
we've
lot
lear-
that goes into it.
We've learned
Yeah.
so much over the last year about what goes into starting a business, because
Yeah.
both of us have worked for big companies before we went into this business, and we never realized just how much infrastructure is really needed and how many people you need to talk to and what types of relationships you need to be able to form your
amazing.
own business.
Amazing. Well, Project X, TallOrder.com is where you pick up the socks. We're going to take some calls in a minute. Feel free to Facebook in your phone number right below, and we'll be ready to go. We're going to actually start off with a call. Alex? He's on the phone? All right, let's try Alex. Alex, what's going on?
Hello.
Alex, how are you, buddy?
Hey, Alex, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
What's your product, and what have you got going?
So my company's Scout Day. We're a mobile app focused on helping baseball players get exposure to college coaches and MLB organizations, which I figured that'd be right up your alley.
Love that, and it seems like everybody knows everything. There's no more hidden secrets. You go back of the gas station, somebody's throwing 100 miles an hour, but you see those movies. But it seems like everybody is starving for more and more intel and information. Is that what your app is going to deliver?
Exactly. So we see really a white space in two ways. The first is in how players are evaluated, and then the second is in the actual exposure piece. So you hear stories about, guys like Pujols, guys who just slip through the cracks who end up being Hall of Famers. So, our vision is helping more deserving players get opportunities. Right now our focus is on getting players to the college level, but we really see an opportunity to get, the MLB teams tapped into our product. We're funded by a few MLB players, so
Who?
We're fortunate enough to have contacts.
You could drop names on this show. You could drop names on this show. It's okay.
Yeah, so we have three guys invested. Doug Davis, who's a former pitcher, Cameron Lowe, who's also retired, also a pitcher, and then Ryan O'Rourke currently pitches for the Twins. So I've been working with those three guys, and, it's been really helpful to get their perspective, since they climbed through the ranks. I mean, my background is, I played 4 years of D1 baseball, but,
Where?
Wasn't fortunate enough or talented enough to, climb all the way up to the big leagues, obviously. So
Where'd you play?
I played at Siena College in upstate New York.
Nice. And what position?
I played outfield.
And what was the difference between you making it and not making it? I mean, you played Division I baseball, so, I mean, you had to be close.
Yeah, I mean, it's really slim, and that's where our product comes into play. Is there's not much difference, believe it or not, between, a guy who's playing at a mid-level D1 school and a guy who just can't seem to get an opportunity even at the D2 or D3 level. So, Scout Day really looks to close the white space for those players, providing them a platform where they can, track their journey and have a platform and a network where the coaches are really tapped into. They're dialed into kind of our evaluation process, and they know that, through our technology, they'll be able to discover kind of the next wave of players.
Is there a bump on the road right now for you? I mean, where is your app live and well and kicking? What's stopping you from having, the best app to find players around the country, around the world? What's in the way of you becoming the biggest and best sensation that every college and every pro team and minor league team, they're on your app? What's stopping them from being on that app?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're shipping our product hopefully within the next week or two. So it'll be live on the App Store. We started out with kind of a website version, but we're really looking to take a mobile-focused approach. But in terms of roadblock, I mean, it just comes down to the credibility. There's a lot of existing recruiting services and different style websites out there. Our business model is a little different. But just being able to establish the credibility that we can be trusted, not just from the player side, that we can help the players get exposure, but especially from the coaches so that they know, obviously being the new guy in the block in any industry is not easy. So it's just earning the customer's trust both on the player and the coach side to really establish ourselves.
And getting general managers and presidents and different people in different teams around the world to use you and note that they found that particular player on that app will be the make or break probably, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I think, we're going to be our own success generator. You know what I mean? It comes down to the credibility. And, once we prove that, the engine that we're building works, it's only going to be up from there.
So is the promotion right now towards the players all over the place just to get them to go on your app, or first you got to get the app launched?
Correct, yeah. So we have a pretty lengthy waiting list. We have over 2,000 players signed up. We've established a pretty sizable social media following. We're over 64,000 followers on Instagram. So, we're really bullish on Instagram right now, especially since that's really the demographic is, 13 to 18-year-old baseball players, and that's where they're spending most of their time. So, we've been pretty successful in terms of, building up the hype, building up the interest and awareness of, what's coming this fall.
Love that. Good idea. Any questions for us? Anything we can help you with?
I guess my one question is if, I'd love to hear, obviously you built your career around relationships. So that's obviously something I'm trying to do, getting strategic investors, like the MLB players involved. So just any advice you have on kind of picking the right mentors. I mean, I've found through my own experience that people are willing to, throw themselves at you in terms of being willing to help as long as there's something in it for them, such as, money or equity in the company. But how do you really go about, finding the right mentors and the right relationships, and how is that successful for you in terms of building Steiner Sports?
I mean, the first thing I would say to you is I'd love to see you go get, a couple decision makers that, that are constantly looking for talent, whether they be the head talent scout for any of the major teams, and try to see if we get them on your page where give you a testimonial, do a quick video, and also just give you some feedback on specifically what they're looking for, and then they'll be able to say, hey, this is what I'm looking for, and this is what that app provides, which is why I use it. And I love getting into the grassroots here because you pick your head up, a kid today becomes he's that kid in high school, especially looking at kids so early these days. Going to the Little League World Series and going to getting to kids in their grassroots. There's a lot more, between Ripken baseball and you can get to the best baseball players. And I think you go get them, when they're 13, 14. That's kind of when they're deciding, in my mind, whether that's going to be their sport of choice for baseball. You move off the little diamond at 11 or 12, and you move to the big diamond. And that's when a lot of kids say, maybe this is not for me. Because it gets a little more difficult quickly. And before you know, you pick your head up, now you're in high school. I'd go zone in on those 13, 14-year-olds. That's the first breath of real baseball for them for the most part. Even though 12 is really competitive, a lot of kids drop off and will go play other sports. But, if you're playing baseball at 13, 14, you're for real. Even though you may not necessarily know which ones are going to be the great players, but so much happens during those 4 or 5 years in high school, beginning of college. I mean, Jabba Chamberlain always said he couldn't even start on the high school baseball team, and he just grew dramatically when he went to, after baseball at the college. But I just think that I get the grassroots. I try to go find, I would say move to the money. I'd move to the biggest names in decision making in this business. A Red Sox scout, a Yankee scout. Try to get to a general manager like a Brian Cashman, Theo Epstein, some more high profile. You land one or two of them. And if they kind of like what you have and they're willing to give you a testimonial, and that's kind of how you can kind of get some attention and traction, especially on an Instagram. And then, I love doing the contest. It's like, hey, if you know a 15-year-old that's an amazing talent, you send in this video, maybe there's some kind of prize or winning something, tickets to a game or tickets to a World Series. But that's who really spots a lot of these kids or other kids and high school coaches where a small prize of some equipment or a couple $500 gift card for a local sporting goods store. You'd be surprised how that goes a long way in a lot of neighborhoods around this country. So, promoting and advertising a lot of times is a big help that way. I like the idea, though. I mean, I think there's a lot out there, which is, I don't even know what they were doing 15, 20 years ago. I don't know how people found you if you were a talent. But now it seems like there's so much more transparency. It's a little easier to do that. Anything else I can help you with?
No, that's it. I appreciate you taking the time to chat, and I appreciate the feedback. Really
great idea. We're going to tweet out your idea today. And if you send us some information, we'll tweet it out. And if there's anybody out there that's a big baseball fan and wants to get involved, please, reach out. We'll have your information right below. And you never know. Hopefully some people watching that may have an interest in getting involved with your app on one way or the other. We have some really good influencers or some people with some really good followings that may have an interest, which is one other thing you want to think about is if you have a video about how your app works. There's a huge consortium of kids out there, like you said on Instagram, that for a very small amount of money will repost those videos to get the word out there. So there are many, many kids that are sitting there with 1 million views, 2 million, 3 million followers. And, for a few $100, these are high school kids, they'll pop your video up. So, I think if you come up with something really good on the content end, it explains your app, why you're doing it. There's definitely a consortium out there of kids all over the planet that for a very small amount of money will post and share your video. And that's a great way to get the word out if your audience is 13 to 18. Because, advertising on TV, PR, that's how you get, it's YouTube videos and it's basically repurposing on Instagram something that's dynamic. And in some cases, you pay to play.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, influencer marketing is definitely huge. And I mean, Instagram's the place to be. I mean, we'd like to be a little bigger on Snapchat probably too, since, Instagram's obviously really popular right now, but, I think Snapchat will make a comeback at some point or another. Yeah. Just because of the way things cycle in and out. But, I think that's so true.
But winning though, just when we interrupt, winning though is still that first kid that you spot that all of a sudden makes a pro team or makes that connection, and then you're off to the races. So you're just trying to find that one kid, and then everybody's coming. And that's got to be your focus, is like, how do you get to as many different parts of this country with spending as little money, and how do you do that? And with the right one nice little content, nice video approach, it's amazing what you could do, but not with a lot of money to get the word out there. And you can
Absolutely.
target
Yeah,
baseball
we actually-
groups, baseball fan groups. There's a million of them, and you'll follow the top, people in these baseball fan clubs, baseball groups, little league groups, and you get the word out. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually have a nice piece of signature content made to support kind of when the app goes live. I'll have to send it to you so you can check it out.
Yeah, we're gonna get behind it.
but-
We'll send it. Hey, thanks for the call.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, and good luck with your app.
All right, thanks a lot,
Good
Brandon.
luck,
Thanks
Alex.
for your time.
Best of luck, man.
Hey, you were
Thank you.
mentioning to me Virginia entrepreneurship, and a lot of kids ask me about, should you go to school for entrepreneurship, and let alone a grad approach. And I always wonder, is there anybody out there teaching the grad school? Are those professors former entrepreneurs, or are they teaching out of the book?
I will say University of Virginia, the Darden School of Business, has been so supportive of our idea and also just really fostering a great environment for entrepreneurs. The Batten Institute, they run a program every summer or through their innovation lab, where people will come in with their business ideas. They'll apply for a grant. They'll get a grant, and they'll basically be paid to work on their business all summer in Charlottesville.
But are the teachers and professors former entrepreneurs?
Oh, yeah. There are people there that
Yeah.
have started their own businesses, that have come from both big business and small business world. People started their own business. The wealth of knowledge at Darden has been incredible. And I've only been there for a quarter so far.
Now,
but
you
I've
went
already learned
undergrad.
so much.
Where?
I went my undergrad at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. And
Go Blue.
He's a Syracuse alum. I know.
course.
You've seen me at practice at the Mel Center. Come on now.
Of course, there's nothing better than
Actually, I had an interesting story to tell you.
But you guys went to my
Quick
two
story.
favorite schools. Although if my daughter's listening, I got to
Yeah.
throw Texas in there too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I had an interesting story to tell you about University of Virginia. So, on the day we launched, I flew down to Charlottesville to go surprise him. Basically, one of his classmates bought 150 pairs of socks for all of the students at Darden for his class. And we put a big banner up to say, "Congratulations, TallOrder from the University of Virginia Darden School of Business." And they surprised him, and it was beautiful. But what he did not know is that I was standing above. There's a terrace on the second floor of this hallway that I was standing in, and I was standing right behind him.
Yeah, that was one of the coolest moments, and it really reaffirmed my decision to pursue an MBA at Darden, and also confirmed my decision to get into entrepreneurship.
where's that
And
picture that we're talking about? I need to post that.
We'll send it to you.
We'll send it.
Well, I see some Virginia socks.
Yeah, we are actually planning
Or
some blue
Michigan.
and orange socks because Syracuse is blue and orange, Virginia's blue and orange. We got
But I
someone.
think it's got to be subtle. Like I don't want to wear a sock with all S's, but it's got to have a subtle something.
Yeah,
with-
absolutely.
It'll be a subtle nod, and that's
It'd
what
be kind of cool. Everybody wants to wear their school colors, but I guess this
and that's what was sort of our inspiration
Yeah.
behind some of these designs, is that we don't want them to be too tacky. We want them to be definitely fun and fashionable, but certainly something that you wouldn't mind wearing to a nice dinner, something that you can wear out on the town, or something you can wear to work.
We actually got a. I'm sorry, Brandon, but
good.
we actually got a customer saying she wanted to do something related to Auburn. Again, blue and orange.
So will you be making socks? Like, let's say I have a player that wants, like Mariano there does. He raises all this money for his foundation. Can he create a pair of socks?
Absolutely.
You have the ability to go. You have the ability to go do this for different charities or
Yeah,
celebrities.
and as
make
diehard
these-
Yankee fans, we would love to hear from
yeah.
Mariano Rivera.
But I think the distribution is going to be key, because the first thing that if I went to a player, whether it be him or Aaron Rodgers or any of these guys that we're working with, they want to know where's these socks going to be sold. I think having a major department, brick and mortar, will be a very key part of this. Because you got to be able to say, look, we got this in Bloomingdale's, or we got this in Neiman, or we got this in Lord & Taylor. It's 70 stores, and we're on TallOrder, and we're on Amazon. We're going to launch yours. Boom. Because I would go and buy, I'm loving the Imagine Dragons lately. That's my favorite group. So if Imagine Dragons was doing a charity sock, just like people buy the Grateful Dead ties and socks, and got a few of those myself. Right? I mean, that makes sense to me.
And we are moving slowly because we are such a new company. Like we said, we've only been open a month now, but we definitely are pursuing some relationships with brick and mortar retailers.
Slow is
That's
for
our plan.
turtles. Entrepreneurism, like the word slow, I think patient is a better word. We're moving patiently. Because, you want to strategically do the right things.
Yeah, I appreciate
But slow is not a word it's not really
That's
not really
that's
that
good
big on that
advice.
word.
That's really good advice.
Who wants to move slow? It just
No one.
seems like,
now it's patient. Now it's patient.
Yeah, I think patience and also, being spontaneous sometimes is important. When you see the opportunity, you got to jump on it. I think you guys have a lot of opportunity. Socks are hot, but I love to see you get involved with some brands. I like the cause marketing part, but I think you can step it up even more. I think you got to go find some other cause marketing, according to whatever's going on now. your story is great, but you've got some other causes that are going on. If you can go tie in, like, the thing with Puerto Rico, can we tie in with some? Can you go tie in with some celebrities that involving that, and go give a bunch of money to that involving the Sox? I think people move towards cause marketing these days, and I think people move to whatever celebrities wear.
Absolutely.
As I keep wearing my Air Jordans, thinking I'm going to jump any higher after 40 years. It's not working, but I'm praying. Maybe these Jordans or these Kobe's are going to help me. They're not, though, but I'm still a believer. We're sitting here at TallOrder.com. If you haven't ordered your socks yet, well, it's not too late. Pick up a couple pair. I'm buying some pair, and I support this, and these are the socks I'll be wearing as you'll see me out and about.
They are. We think they're the most comfortable socks you can buy. So.
Ben, we have another call, or are we good? I can try to reach out. All right. If you have somebody else that's on the line, we'll take one more call. If you're out there, you want to talk about your product, please bring it on. Great way to promote. We're hoping that you'll, on the show, we're just hoping you're hooking up.
I just want to say, Brandon, I think this is a great thing you're doing, getting entrepreneurs together, talking about ideas. We have to foster each other. We gotta learn from each other. Absolutely. There's a lot of things that we can stand to learn from each other.
Business is complicated, but you'd be surprised. I think the whole thing is you get caught up in a story and you start moving slow as opposed to saying, you got to have balls. Like, why not? If not me, then who? Who's gonna buy that autographed ball? Like, who's gonna buy these socks? Well, you'd be surprised. And you're one celebrity and one really big cause, or another big cause away from this thing skyrocketing.
Yeah.
Or some design possibly that you get together with a designer, like a Ron Shareskin or a Ralph, somebody that has some design skills that is very well known, and all of a sudden, boom, this thing takes off. But I caught these socks about a month ago, and my son's a big sock guru, so I sent him a couple pair, and he loved them. That's my gauge. But he's younger,
That's what we're
and
looking for.
We're looking for great feedback.
Yeah,
we're looking for people wearing them, posting about them, putting them on Twitter. Hashtag TallOrder socks.
So I like a multiple amount of causes. I think you got to diversify the causes, and I think you got to find celebrities that are trying to get their causes out there too.
Absolutely.
And that distribution pocket, which is the hardest thing when you're trying to get going, is can you find that one great partner that is going to help you not only in the distribution, the obvious, but it's going to help you just because, wow, you're in. So I think a lot of people make the mistake. They think they got to be everywhere. But to me, if you're in Amazon and Bloomingdale's, or Amazon and Neiman, or Amazon and Nordstrom, my favorite place where I buy shoes, so Nordstrom socks is where I generally get my socks, and their sock department is weak. I mean, so that would be cool. We got somebody else on the line, Gary. Okay, cool. We'll do one more call and then we'll wrap up. If you got any questions, please phone in. We're doing another show live tomorrow also, so I have some great guests coming on. I'm not going to tell you who's going to be on, but it's going to be some really good guests this week we have, and also some students from Fordham on Wednesday coming in with their Shark Tank ideas. See if they brought anything. It's supposed to be a good school for them. It's supposed to be really smart kids, but I just want their basketball team to be a little better, so they're close by. But we'll see what they've got on the entrepreneurism. Who's on the phone, Ben? Gary, you there?
I am.
How are you, Gary? What's going on? What's your story?
I'm doing very well, Brandon. Thanks for having me on.
Where are you calling from?
My car.
Oh, I meant like what part of the country. But that's cool. The car is cool. But what part of the world or country are you coming from?
I'm in Ossining in Westchester County.
Oh, cool. So you're close. You're in the New York area. What's your idea? What are you working on these days?
I have a company which I started about a year and a half ago, and what we do is we bring friends and family together in restaurants to create a fun 2 hours of entertainment in a fun environment for them, and the goal is to drive in revenue to the restaurants by putting people in seats, and hopefully the staff, of course, make money, and the main goal is for the guests to have a great time. So
give me an example of have you put that in play, or are you just working on the concept?
Oh, it's up and running. My company is called Let's Go Trivia.
Okay, cool. So you're popping in on any given night, or you're booking that ahead of time?
We do it weekly. Currently we're in 29 locations between Rockland, Westchester, Putnam Dutchess, and Fairfield County. And our trivia is a roaring success, Brandon, and it's putting people in seats We run leagues based on the season. So right now we have our fall league going on, and that brings teams of 4 and 6 and 8 weekly into these restaurants, and it's a great revenue generator for medium to large size restaurants, and it's great fun all around.
What made you come up with this idea? What's your background?
I have been a career bartender, and when
It's
I
always
moved
the bartenders you got to watch out for.
Exactly.
When I moved to New York in 2000, I realized, bartenders don't get salaries here, don't get good hourly wage. They rely on tips. So being, I'll be modest, but being a pretty good bartender, I realized you are in control of how busy you are by virtue of building your customer base. So as years went by and as I improved my bartending skills, I built up a great following in the bars I worked in, and I also love trivia. So one of the bars I worked in, I wrote, hosted, and ran the trivia, and it was a great success. It was one of their busiest nights of the week, and I parlayed that into pitching the idea to a restaurant here in Westchester County about having their own trivia night, and I'd run it. And it was a roaring success from the beginning. And the folks from Captain Lawrence Brewery saw me hosting it one night and asked if I would come on board there and do it. And by the end of last year, I was just kind of chugging along with about 5 locations, not really thinking anything big about it because I was still working part-time in a bar. I have a small bartending business where I work private events as well.
Are you leading me to an aha moment right now?
I'm sorry?
Are you leading me to an aha moment when you realized you had something?
Yeah, believe it or not, yes, I did. It came from an unlikely source of a young lady I worked with was talking about a young man who has his own trivia business and how well he was doing. And I literally had the light bulb moment where I thought, why have I only got 4 or 5 locations? So that was at the end of last year, and at the beginning of this year, I quit the bartending job, and I just went hell for leather searching out new locations. And at the beginning of the year, we had 5, and now we have 29.
Now, how many people work for you? How many people work for you?
I have 18 hosts. I have a writer. And I have a young man who does my posters.
If I want to find out where you are, where do I find you? Where do I get you? If I want to put you in my bar or my restaurant.
Let'sGoTrivia.com, or just go onto social media, Facebook, Instagram, and look for Let's Go Trivia.
Now, what will your sales be this year?
My sales are cruising towards about 200,000 this year.
And your forecast for 2018?
2018, I'm kind of judging it right now, Brandon, and I'm not at my desk. The pace we're growing at, I'm heading towards 200 locations. That's my initial goal, is 200 locations in the United States, and we want 50 by the end of this year, which should, and then we want another 75 on top of that in 2018, and the other 75 in 2019. Which will hit the goal of 200 by 2020.
Now, will you franchise this? Are you going to franchise this, or are you going to company own and just go into different regions and have like regional managers kind of thing?
The second part first. So go into different areas, dominate the market in Boston, Albany, Baltimore, you name it, keep spreading across the country, and then take it international. Franchise would make the most sense, but essentially be the Coca-Cola of trivia. Our name is brilliantly easy to say, easy to remember. It kind of has an uplifting, feel to it. And, our model is simple.
Love it. I just gave you a tap on my owl. That means, this is a bright idea. My one question is, are you looking for investors?
Let me say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was watching one of your shows on YouTube, and our logo is a brilliantly simple logo, and it's a question mark inside a light bulb. And when I saw your show, I thought, brilliant, because it's like the light bulb's going off and the questions inside it.
Yeah,
Great.
the light bulb's gone off for me. I love this idea. Are you looking for investors? Are you fully are you capitalized? Like, what's anything put you on the side of the road? Are you good? I mean, do you feel like you need help?
I'm doing great, Brandon. As my mother always said, never a borrower or a lender be. I started with nothing, with just my idea. I don't owe anybody, and nobody owes me. So I'm going to continue until maybe that point comes where I feel like I need somebody to invest. There are some areas I feel I would like help with, but right now our model is great. I have a wonderful sales manager who I believe you know who he is, a young man named Justin Sherman. And
nice young man, yes, baseball player.
Fantastic.
But you know, the thing is, I'm not with your mom on this thing. I'm not in agreement with your mom, and you know, I always agree with moms, but not on this one. And because my mother was the same thing, and she took me in that direction, which was don't owe anybody any money, don't borrow money. But borrowing money is a part of business. It's like saying, well, I don't want to do accounting because it's too hard. Accounting is a part of business. Borrowing money and finance and cash flow has put more businesses out of business or weren't able to keep up that were great ideas than you can imagine. And I'd really love you to rethink that idea. I'm not here to put you on borrowing money from me or anyone else for that matter, but I want you to rethink it because borrowing money can increase your growth opportunities and really take a lot of headaches off your plate that could be coming up to really grow the way you want to grow. And it is a part of business. If you have a great idea, you should not be afraid to borrow money. That's what banks and that's what people do. And you should get more familiar with how that works because at some point you are going to either have a partner that invests in you, hence borrow money, or you're going to go to a bank, hence borrow money. I mean, you're going to probably need somebody to really grow this thing to scale because the potential is really in every state and every city in this country, to say the least. And we haven't even gone international. And you're always at risk that someone's going to go take this idea and steal it. But listen, I'm sure you got a good handle on it, and I'm sure you got a good growth plan. But don't discount borrowing money or finding a strategic investor because they can help you grow your business. And having 50 or 70 or 80% of something huge is still better than having 100% sometimes of something not so big. But you probably love your life, and there's nothing wrong with that too. I don't necessarily have all the answers, but don't discount borrowing money. But love your idea. Love your idea. I'm going to tweet that out today, and hopefully we'll make it to one of your locations. If you send that to Ben, you know, some of the locations coming up in the next week, maybe some of the listeners and viewers will maybe pop in and see your concept at work. Wish you all the luck in the world, though.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Brandon.
Thanks for phoning
Thank
in.
you.
Appreciate it. Guys, final words, tall order.
Look,
I'm feeling good about this idea.
Yeah,
You got him going back to school. But at the end of the day, and I always tell this to my kids when they think they come up with this genius idea. I was like, but can you do it when it matters? Can you go bring in the Neiman, the Nordstrom? Can you bring in the Amazon the right way? Because Amazon's a cloudy, complicated distribution platform. It's not like, oh, I'm on Amazon. But getting Amazon to work, just getting on there is just the beginning. The goal isn't to get on Amazon. The goal is to get people to know that you are on Amazon and to actually play with them the way they need to be played with. Can you do it in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left?
That's the challenge
absolutely.
we face over the next couple of months. You know, as we learn about how we're doing in business and how we're doing on Amazon, you know, how do we adapt? That's really the biggest questions we face is how do we adapt to after the initial buzz? Because we had a lot of initial buzz when we first launched, you know, a couple weeks ago. Now that initial buzz is worn off, how do we adapt? How do we continue to drive visitors to our site? How do we continue to drive people to buy our products on Amazon? That's the challenge, and that's what we're excited to learn and face from this next
This is
couple
the
weeks.
number one seller, so they say. Like and share this.
Yes.
If you're liking and share it, we're going to give away a few pair of these socks. I mean, it's what we do here. So they brought a few samples. Like and share this, but go to TallOrder.com and buy some. A percentage is going to charity, which is a great thing. And then I'm sure there'll be other charities to follow. This is probably, if you know somebody that's a little tall, well, you know, not a little tall. You're either tall or you're not. But if you're tall and you know somebody that's tall, well, hey, this is the time to go pick up an early Christmas gift.
Anybody with big feet,
Yeah.
buy them.
I mean, you know who they are. And this is a smart idea because if you have big feet, it's hard to find socks for those hoofs. Hey, great having you guys. Wish you all the luck.
Thank you, Brandon.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. And we got a big week. A lot of stuff going on. So thank you for tuning in today, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. And you got to like that idea, huh? That trivia was strong. Something tells me we'll laugh about this when he's all over the country. Good luck, Gary.